Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle. It's Sunday, the 27th of July, 2025. Excuse me. I hope you are keeping well. This is my first game this morning. I didn't play an early game this morning because I just got up. Well, actually, more technically, I've just had breakfast. Had a bad night. Didn't sleep very well. And so managed to sleep in the morning, and it's about sleep that I'd like to mention today's story, which I thought was quite a funny story when I read it. I'm not exactly sure whose side I'm on here. The story was that a choir was giving a concert. I'm not sure if this is in Fulham, but it involves the Bishop of Fulham. I suppose it does. A choir was giving a concert. And suddenly the lights went out and a person came on stage wearing a dressing gown, and that person was the Bishop of Fulham, who told them that they were making a racket, and he told them to get out, basically. Or in a slightly more British, polite bishop type voice, he said, "You are in my house, can you leave it now, please?" Although he did apparently describe it as a terrible racket. Now, I have no idea about the concert, but one thing I do remember is at school back in London, where I grew up, singing hymns in school was a vile thing to do. It's a kind of torture. I hated hymns so much. I still do. I hate them. I think maybe that was one of my early forms of one of the early causes of my atheism. Is I hated hymns. Really hated hymns. And I still, to this day, don't like them as a form of music, and of course all that nonsensical stuff about higher powers, etc. And so if it was that kind of choir, I might agree with the bishop and tell him to get out. On the other hand, I absolutely love gospel music, black church gospel music from the US. That is fantastic. Maybe if I'd grown up listening to that kind of music, I might not be such a virulent atheist as I am now. I don't know, but that kind of music is fantastic. I really love it, and I think American gospel music is brilliant. Of course, in Britain, with white people singing horrible hymns, I have no idea. Anyway, the choir is called the City Academy Voices. I have a feeling they're more likely to be the latter type, because they were singing a Supremes song. So I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. I don't know if that's a religious song or not, but I suspect they're more like the American gospel music singer. I have no idea if they were good or not. But anyway... what about noise at night? I think I dislike to be disturbed by noise late at night if it's a regular thing. I think that's a really terrible thing. It's a kind of, sleep deprivation is recognized as a form of torture. And so if people make a constant racket, if they're playing, dubstep music late at night at 1,000,000 decibels and your whole room is shaking and you can't sleep, that is definitely a bad thing, and that deserves... intervention to stop that kind of thing from going ahead. On the other hand, if people have a party now and again, just put up with it. Even if you can't sleep, just let it go for once. If it's not a regular thing, but people need to enjoy themselves, right? You've been to one of those parties that disturbed other people at some point, I'm sure of it. So just let it go. It's only if it becomes a frequent nuisance that really ought to be stopped. But anyway, I've no idea why he turned up with his dressing gown and no shoes. So there we are. You've seen the Bishop of Fulham, or those people have seen the Bishop of Fulham in a way that was probably unintended by God. All right, let's get on with the game of Sudoku, shall we? Now, this is the New York Times, excuse me, New York Times hard level puzzle I've got for you today. Let's start with digit 9, blocking across here and across there like that. There we go. I will try and get 3 games out today. But I'll have to catch up a little bit because, as I say, this is normally my second game of the day, not my first. The only interesting thing I've seen so far is that I know 8 and 9 are down there. We've got 4s there, we've got 8s there, but we don't have a pair just yet. Alright, let's do what we normally do at this point if we're stuck. Have a brief rock around the clock. Six will do it. 6 up here, 6 across there. Okay, 8 blocks this way, so 8 in one of those 2 squares. We'll take 8 eastwards, and 8 blocking up here will give us 8 in that square there. I think we're missing 137 in this row. Is that right? 137. Yeah, and 1 and 7 in the same column, so that's a 3. And we'll be left here with 1 and 7. Now the 3 blocks up here, here like this, so 3 in one of those 2 squares blocking across will give me the 3 up there. Now this is 7 and 8. Alright, so 7 blocks across here like this. Now I also noticed that 2 blocks up here, let's do that again, 2 blocks up here and across there, so 2 in one of those squares blocking across. So that's 2 and 7, and this cannot be 2 or 7. It's a 4. 4 blocks across here, 4 blocks up there, there's a 4. This is 2 and 7, so this is 5. So 2, 3 blocking across there, 2, 3 blocking up there. So this is not 2, 3. What's 7, 8, 2, 3. So what's left? 7, 8, 2, 3. So 6 in that square. 6 blocking down here like this, 6 across this way and this way, but when we see 6 blocking here, we know 6 is in one of these squares blocking down. So there's our 6 bottom. Missing numbers here are 7, 8, 9, I think. 7 across there, 7 across there, there's a 7. We're left with 8 and 9 down here. Oh, that means nothing up there. Okay. 3 up, 3 down, 3 across. We've got a lot of 8s blocking this row here like this, so obviously we've got a pair of 8s there. And we've got 8s like that, haven't we? Let's see. 8s somewhere there. 8s there. That's not enough. Not quite enough, is it? Okay. There's a lot of... I hate it when we have a completely empty block like this and a lot of stuff pointing at it. We know quite a lot of things. We know that 1s are in those squares there. We know that 2s are in the corner squares like this. We know that 3s are in these squares. We know that 4s are down there. And we've got 8s down there as well. 5 is not very helpful. 6s we've got in those squares. 6s in these squares. 7, not sure. And then 9. No, it's not going to give me... I don't think it's going to give me enough. Down here we've just got the 3, 6, 7. How about the 1? 1's not very helpful either. Pair of 1s there. That's not great, is it? Threes. Sixes and 7s are all done along the bottom here. Oh no. No. 9s we get there. Alright, I'm at a blank here, so I'm going to fill in the pencil marks to go forward, because otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. So let's put the 1 and 7 into those squares. Let's put the 7 and 8 into those squares there, and let's put the 3 and whatever it is that goes there, 2 and 3 into those squares there. And up here, 2 and 7, is it? There's a bit of a delay from me pressing the key from the keys appearing. That's very weird. Now, and remember there's 2 blocking this square here, so I'm going to get 2s down there. I've got this 8 and 9 in those squares there. Let's put that in. And then let's see what else we've got available. So we've got 1s in those squares there. We've got a pair of 1s up here as well. 2 in, well, no, the corner squares, that's not going to be enough. 2. 3s are there. 3s are a pair down there. 4s are on this side and there and there. That's a pair of 4 and 8. Okay, I missed the 4 and 8 pair. I see it now, 4 and 8 down here. So that means that can't be a 1. This has to be a 1, which will give me a pair of 1s in those squares there. But let's put this 4 and 8 in now. I did miss that 4 and 8 down there. I just didn't see it. If you're wondering why, well, I just didn't see it. I mean, that's all there is to it. 5 in that square, and the last number to go here is the 9. So that's our 9, that's our 8. I think people accuse me of willfully missing things. I just don't see it. That's all there is to it. I don't know why you're surprised. Okay. So we've got 2, 3 and 5 in the bottom row, and we've got 2 and 3 together, so that's going to be our 5. And then we'll be left with 2 and 3 in these squares. Now we've got a pair of 2 and 3 in those squares there. That might be something useful, I don't know. That's 2 and 3, that's 1 and 7 already. Fixed. So what do we need for this column? 1, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's too much. It's still too much, I think. We'll get on that in a minute. Let's see what else we can do. Fives are somewhere there. Somewhere there. 6s are a pair in those squares and those squares. Eights go there and there. Okay, so now we've got 9s down, up and across like that. So there's the 9 there, which will give me a pair of 9s in those squares. And we can do better than that. 9 across here, and down here will give us 9 in that square, 9 in that square. Let's remove that candidate. 9, and we've got 9 as our first completed digit. Alright, and now we can see that that has to be the only place for a 1. And 1 blocking across here, and across there, and up there will give us a 1 in that square there. Two blocks across there, so we've got a pair of 2s in those squares there. What else is missing here? 7, 2, 7. That's the only possibility for 8 in that block, which gives us 8 there and 7 there. And this has to be a 7. And the last number down here is 4 for this column. So that's a 4 there. This is the only possibility for a 4 there now. 4 is finished. Let's get rid of the straggling candidate that we don't need. That says 2, 5. It means that that's got to be a 2 or a 5. But no help on that just yet. Right, what's still to be done? 3, 6. What's missing up here? 2. Oh, okay, we've got 2's in those squares. That's a pair of 2 and 3. I already know that's 2, 3, I said earlier. 7 blocks across here, so that's a pair of 6 and 7 now, which makes that the 7, that the 1. And the last number to go here is 5. So 5. Oh, sorry, what happened? Oh, I was on the wrong. Damn, excuse me. So what did I say? 7. Sorry, I apologize. I had the wrong mode selected. I go ahead and click without paying attention to what's going on the screen sometimes. 5 goes there. That's got to be a 1. And we're left with our 2, 3 pair for that, and that. Okay. But we can't have a 3 there, so that's got to be the 2. And that's got to be the 3. That's a 2, and that's a 3. There's our 2. 3 in that square. 3 there. 3's a finish, so this cannot be a 3. Right, 1, 3, 4 and 9 are done. The last number to get in this row is 5. Let's choose the right mode this time. 2 goes there. 2 blocks up here and across there, so that's our 2. This must be a 2. That's a 2. That's a 7. 7 blocks down here, giving me 7 in that square. The last number here is a 5. And 5 blocks here, so that's the 5. Last number there is the 8, and this, yes, is a 6. So 6 there, 7 there. That's our New York Times hard level puzzle. Did I make it more difficult than it needed to be? Yes, but it is Sunday morning, and I've only really just got out of bed. So there you go. All right, take care. Bye bye.